I've played through Sonic Forces without boosting, and I've played through Sonic Mania without spin dashing. So today, we're combining those challenges by seeing if I can beat Sonic Generations without boosting or spin dashing. And without further ado, let's get into the video. The first stage is classic Sonic's Green Hill, and the hardest part about this stage is not spin dashing. You just gotta remember, can't press that button. And there was only one part that was semi-difficult, and where you need to spin dash, I mean. And it was to break this rock, so an easy first level. Our second stage was Modern Sonic's Green Hill, I can't speak. The only real thing was that I learned to use the slides instead of the boost in the small corridor areas in order to keep myself from just taking damage and having a slow way down. But yet again, easy level, nothing really needs boosting. Chemical Plant Zone Act 1 has a slightly increase in difficulty due to if you take the bottom route, it is impossible. You need to always make sure to stay on the top path and you get an easy level. Sonic Generations Chemical Plant Act 2 is one of my favorite stages in Sonic Generations, only behind stages like City Escape, I cannot speak, and Rooftop Run, but it was pretty easy to beat without boosting, just a bit odd to get used to the slower speed. Sky Sanctuary Act 1 was easy, moving on. Sky Sanctuary Act 2 was actually pretty easy, but I did die like once, so it was still pretty easy though. Here's a B-roll of me getting all 3 of the keys. The next stage was the first of the 3 rival fights against a Metal Sonic. And when I first played this stage, I had no clue you could even spin dash in it, so this one was pretty easy. This one was premeditated, you dang tin can! After looking at a funhouse mirror of ourselves, we then fight the Death Egg robot, Jesus Christ. But spin dashing is actively discouraged in this fight, so you know, we win these. Dang, I forgot to turn my mic off that whole time. Speed Highway was difficult, but not like in the sense of it was hard, but in the sense of you could absolutely get it without spin dashing. However, you just had to take the topmost route, and it's hard to stay up there. So, wasn't too difficult once I got the swing of it, and we completed this level without having to spin dash. Speed Highway Act 2 is a stage I always forget about, but is really fun. But you really don't need to boost. I thought you did in the downward, like, when you're running down the skyscraper, but apparently you don't, so, pretty easy. City Escape Act 1 is where we met in Impasse, which is that you cannot get up this ledge without a spin dash. At least you can't in original Sonic Generations. Now, in Sonic X Shadow Generations, you unlock the ability of the drop dash. And the real question is, should this count? According to comments on my Mania video, it should, but, you know, since it has different properties and is technically a different move, I'm going to allow it to move forward. However, I'm going to try to not use it too much for the simple reason of, you know, why not? Oh yeah, by the way, Modern Sonic also has it, so yeah. In Act 1, there's only one required drop dash, which is the one that I showed you, so that's quite nice. The man driving that truck is dead. So this stage is very easy, but the end looks weird. I know you're probably wondering how we just hit the 4-minute mark and already almost halfway through the game. Well, it's cause the last levels are where it actually will get hard. But it's still pretty easy here with, I don't even remember this level's name. Seaside something, I don't know. It's not hard. By the way, if you made it this far, hit the subscribe button or I'll be under your bed tonight. It's called Seaside Hill. Anyway, this level was pretty easy despite the fact that I thought it could have been impossible due to the fact that you need a boost to stay on top of the water. Thing is, you can mostly avoid it, and the stuff you can't avoid is really small or has a boost panel next to it, so the route I took was pretty dang easy, and another easy level surprisingly. When will the difficulty kick in? Little did I know. This fight that is normally supposed to take you a minute to a minute and a half took me 6 minutes. Just because this boy be running. So whenever you catch up to him, you hit him once, then he boosts away, and then you have to try and hit him again after he's grabbed rings, and then that cycle continues until you somehow charge up your boost, and then after you get all the 2 purple charges, you just run forward at boost speed without boosting, and win. So yeah, this doesn't count as boosting, I'm not pressing the button. This is what you get for not helping in the final battle. Shadow is dead. Next plot point. Sonic's knees are broken. Since the start of this video, I kinda just figured that this would be where this challenge would end, due to the fact that whenever I don't normally boost, I wouldn't make it to Chaos because I'm like trying to go fast and I have no boost and then I sink into the ocean. But it's entirely possible. If you're just slow and careful, you can absolutely beat this level, which is insane to me. Like, you'd think that you wouldn't have enough speed once you hit Chaos to make it to the top, but nah, it doesn't matter how fast you're going in Chaos's body. All that matters is that you go in at relatively close to top speed, and then you just kind of win. So yeah, next level. That's what you get for taking my McDonald's Sprite. I wonder what the next stage is. You know, This stage is Crisis City, Sonic 06 stage. You know, but it's honestly alright. Modern Sonic is still better though. Anyway, this was pretty easy, except for one area where I needed speed-up shoes to make it, and I had to jump at the top of the top of like a half ramp. So yeah, but honestly, not too difficult. Oh hey, there's the end goal. This is why I have trust issues. Crisis City Act 2 was also really easy. I'm gonna be honest, I thought these stages were gonna start getting more difficult, but apparently they're still pretty dang easy. So yeah, the next one I guess. Rooftop Run is my favorite Sonic Generation stage. However, here is where a problem happens. So you reach this spot right here. You think you can just jump up? No. I cannot make this jump. Then you think, okay, would you lose the spring, just make it up? No. Also does not work. Okay, maybe use janky momentum. Nope. Doesn't work. It is impossible to get through here without spin dashing. Meaning that it is not possible to beat this game without spin dashing. However, let's see how many spin dashes it does take. And boosts, because I still can't boost either. It takes 1 spin dash to get out of that area, and a second to make the clock move to beat the level. Unless. You see, you technically don't release the spin dash, which, according to the game's code, is technically different than spin dashing. So, I guess you only have 1 spin dash. Now, if you count that, I fully understand, but technically speaking, it is not a spin dash. Therefore, we only have 1 spin dash on the record, and let's hope it stays that way. It's a shame we've done lost the challenge, but Rooftop Run Act 2 might make up for that, because this is my favorite stage in Sonic Generations, maybe out of every Sonic game. And, yeah, fully possible. Let's hope we don't mess up again. Oh dear God, not this stage. But it was entirely impossible to beat. I hate this stage, we're moving on. This stage is clickbait. The start is really fun, and then it's just trash. Next stage. Also, we didn't have to boost. Easy peasy McSqueezy.
It's no use!
I never said I couldn't fast fall, you dang nerd! Eggman is dead. Alright, Egghead, it's time to— oh, my bones! Half of you guys have super forms. Get down here and help me! Just kidding, time for the Jolly Ranchers of Power!
Time to scramble some Eggman, supersonic style!
As much as I'd like to end it on a high note, Time Eater is impossible. You need to boost to beat this level, and that is the entire point of the boss. But that means that we only have to spin dash and boost in like once each, which I count this as once, because boost it's always the same part, man. Who cares? Anyway, yeah. But if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Nice.